All right, we are here. I think I am going to play this in English. Basically, beforehand, I've been like playing several DLCs in Finnish, but then again, there's those who actually watch Elder Scrolls Online videos are English speakers or abroad. So basically, there's not much mind of actually speaking in Finnish. Apparently there's less people who actually watch MMOs in Finland or some such. Anyway, let's make a sound check at this point. Okay, we have. So we are at Necrom, or rather Telvanni Peninsula, and this is the peninsula, and it's over here. So this is how the Elder Scrolls Online is actually gradually taking all over the Tamriel. Lots of stuff is actually here. Then there's like some mistakes here. Can't do anything about it. But apparently they don't have like Firewatch. Firewatch should be like right here. It's a harbor. It was from Arena. So I wonder what's going to be like second part of the Morrowind saga. Is it like northern part here, Telvanni Peninsula, or something else totally? There's new trial, and there's our friend who actually we met in the beginning of the. So this is going to be like a plot playthrough. So I was wondering about changing some of my characters to the Arcanist class. I might go and test it later. Sounds cool, but then again, like playing Tribunal Agent it's much more sensible idea for now. Yeah, so I'm playing Hand of Almalexi.
As Hermaeus Mora, the one who knows foretold, we meet again, Proxy. Many diverse twists of fate have led us to this nebulous... too complicated.
Nebulous.
I come with a gift, a purpose dark and heavy, an opportunity to fulfill the contract you signed.
Purpose? What purpose?
We are bound together by a common danger. Enemies of Hermaeus Mora threaten his realm of oblivion, and in so doing pose a threat to the mortal world as well. Therefore Mora sent me to meet you here and secure your cooperation.
So basically, Apocrypha is place for the greatest secrets in this multiverse. So the thing is that if the Apocrypha falls, or something cataclysmic happens to that realm, it might like wake up the Godhead. So that's like deep explanation why it's bad idea to let something to happen to realm of Hermaeus Mora.
Only a mortal proxy can deal with a threat and save both Apocrypha and Nirn. The fates of both realms are linked, and you are the key to preserving reality. Without you, everything unravels.
Yeah.
Help avert this disaster, and Mora will reward you. The one who knows instructed me to give you this, a condensate of planar potentialities. You will not understand. It is ink. Take it to the Ulvano cistern, a ruin near the city. Pour the ink into the water, and your path will become clear.
Okay, so I wonder if she's going to tell us something different if we are playing like the Arcanist.
I am Laramil, sometimes called the Wise, although that is not a sobriquet I care for. I seek to comprehend the emergent truths elicited by the... never mind that. I am a scholar. A century ago, I struck a bargain with Hermaeus Mora. I do not worship him, if that is your question. The Prince of Knowledge is an ally and patron. Mora provides me with access to rare and esoteric lore. In return, I undertake various tasks for him. Have you never heard of the Daedric Prince of Forbidden Knowledge? The Lord of Fate? The riddle unsolvable? Hermaeus Mora knows everything. He is the wisest of the Daedra. Every secret and all knowledge finds its way to Apocrypha in time. I am astonished how little the mortals of our tiny world comprehend. Apocrypha is the realm of Hermaeus Mora, his home and seat of power, one of the countless realms that drift through oblivion. Please, do not ask me about Oblivion.
What's up, Oblivion?
One or more of Hermaeus Mora's rival princes, although they have yet to reveal themselves. They work through agents, such as whoever sought the glyphics when we first met. A spider lurks at the center of this web. I am sure of it.
I wonder if it's going to be Nocturnal. Nocturnal was already like main antagonist in one of the DLCs, so I wonder. But then again, there's lots of Daedric princes.
Yes and no. These are the same forces that hired the Dusksaber mercenaries and colluded with Drollis Atherin to seize the Emerald Glyphic.
Ah, Drollis.
Since you put a stop to that, they have changed tactics. But they have not abandoned their scheme.
So we got a pre-order bonus back and a couple experience goals and a couple treasure maps. Which we actually use. That's Apocrypha and Telvanin Peninsula. So big mushroom. I have way too many things in my inventory. Some stuff I can actually break away. Treasure map. Alright. Yeah, I have too many treasure maps. Big mushroom and dead animal. So let's. I'm just going to throw away everything that's not like super interesting. Alright, so yeah, here, but we could actually check the Necrom first, because this is like really classic place. First seen in Arena, but this is like first time we see it. It was modded by the mod players before, but the Morrowind. But preparing Necrom Pama craft. These are Pama. They appear to be domesticated. breach. I wonder how many influences they have been taking from the mods Necrom discovered. So here we can already see this. This is actually a holy place. So we are not going to steal anything. Just watching. Okay.
Take care of your mount, and it will take care of you.
Yeah, I haven't bothered to learn the riding with this character. This used to be like role-playing character. Necrom. Very Morrowindy. Crypt down, so basically it's probably going to be like lots of crypts underneath. Let's see what's here. Trading plaza. Final rest furnishings. Mage's Guild is here. And crafting stations are all over there. Subway shrine. Merchant have already been taken. Why not? Bindery. So yeah, they are prepared. Hey, by it is bindery. Okay. This seems really interesting. Maybe we find out what this is later. So bindery probably isn't about making mummies, but rather actually something else. Finding Daedric or spirits of the ancestors or something. Okay, these are crafting grids, not going to like take super long time. Very spacey crafting place. Clothier. I kind of like the feeling of space here, although it's not too much like it could be in many other games. I think I have everything here. So where's the clothier's clothing station. Clothing station, yes. Here, next to a cashier. Alright. So this is going to be like super fast introduction to Necrom. Palace view apartments. Okay. So this was like holy place for Dunmer before the tribunal. Okay. Temple is closed for some reason. Necropolis, okay. Very large. His guild is here. That's Vivek killing the Ulgamor Jill. Of course. That's our Vivek. Fucking and slaving everything. Fucking and slaying. This is really interesting because we know that it has really special meaning with this necropolis. And this bridge is like a really old school, like architecture, something that could have been like during the Elderscrolls 3 Morrowind. Yeah, that's a bird. Tomb of the Nameless Master. Yeah, I want to see it. Tomb of the Nameless Master. This might be like the quest place, but doesn't bother. Yeah, lots of players here, so it must be like. Quest location. Gorn. Ah, Gorn. Ooh. Ooh. I could not convince any ships to grant passage to Gorn. Gorn is known from the book called Poison Song. I'm talking about it heresy, so I want to talk about it. Craig mine. Yeah, we know that Gorn was here. Yeah, sure. I wonder if we can. It's like place we are going to go and like slay 6th house members. I wonder if we are going to see Gorn.
I bet the stable masters love taking care of that one.
You there! You look like a capable forager. I need some help. Can we talk? Thank the ancestors you stopped. Right. Well, I'm in a bit of a predicament here. I need to collect ingredients for a medicinal tincture, and I simply don't have time. I need someone to help. Ah, yes. I am Balver Bemis, retainer to Oathman Lero Rawlis of House Telvanni. Laro suffers from beastly headaches, and I'm making a tincture to address his malady. I need some hard-to-attain ingredients. If you aid me, I'll pay you well.
So he's his retainer of this Oathman, which is like 4th level member of the Telvanni. And there's not too many Oathmans in Telvanni. I actually made a like spreadsheet about House Telvanni, and they had like small issues with the group in Morrowind. So Oathman were like, they weren't so numerous as in other houses, but it was like really weird.
I need the musk gland of a bull netch. I spotted some netch remains around Kemel Z. Also a plant called the volcanic stinkhorn from near Salem Mora. And lastly, fungal blooms from a dead shroom beetle. The best ones skitter around Tel Drello.
So
once you collect the ingredients, I'll make the necessary preparations at my workstation in Ald Isra. You know, getting the viscosity right and all. Well, they're vital to the recipe. I don't want to bore you with the details, but the stinkhorn provides a binding catalyst, while the bullnetch musk gland balances the humors. They're very important. Yes, definitely. They provide a nutty, hay-like flavor. Covers up the bitterness of the brew, you see. He's a very demanding individual, even at the best of times. Commands with an iron fist, you know. And when these headaches strike, he is positively tyrannical. Yes, yes. I think it will address his malady fully. I mean,
efficiency set. So let's see. So this is stamina, health and magicka. While you have a living companion, so this is set for the people who actually use companions. Reduce the cooldown of your abilities by 50%. Wow. When you do not have a living companion, reduce everything. So this sounds like PvE set. Totally. Be interesting. Although there's other sets that give you those bonuses, so I'm just wondering if I ever need something like that. So this is some kind of druid. That looks like something out of
Yuri!
like having only. Okay, so it killed me. Wow.
Fetching, fetch! Fetch!
Wow. Pretty good enemies. I was wondering where the enemies were, but hey, that's pretty good mob. I mean, we have been like waiting harder DLC since Cracklorn, which was like water ink to the water.
Step forth, mortal. Know that you stand in the presence of Hermaeus Mora. We must converse.
Okay.
Laramil has done well, and brought fate's chosen into my unrelenting gaze. All other outcomes are now excluded. From this moment, fate's ever-branching tree begins to grow again. And with it, new possibilities emerge. All that, and more, mortal. I see all that is, was, and will ever be. And in so doing, I saw hidden rivals that threaten Apocrypha and all of reality. They must not succeed. The time has come to honor your agreement. I am the golden eye of fate, and the keeper of whispers. I foretold that a mortal was needed to preserve reality. You are that mortal, and we signed a contract that binds us for the duration of this threat. Apocrypha is in danger. Now you must act. Let Laramil guide you. She can perceive the threads of fate and lead you to the 3 tasks that will reveal my hidden adversaries. Meet her in the Necrom bindery in the mortal city of the same name. Your journey to preserve reality begins there. I have alerted Laramil to 3 specific threads of fate that converge in a place known as the Telvanni Peninsula. She will guide you to these locations so you can unmask my hidden adversaries. Go. Do you know so little, mortal? Apocrypha is my domain. A plane of oblivion I have shaped to my needs. And this plane, the mortal realm, some refer to it as Nirn. As for the connection, just know that if Apocrypha falls, Nirn will cease to exist. The scholars and mystics of your world call me a Daedric Prince. What you see is only an aspect of my true self, for the mortal mind cannot contain the whole of me. This form suffices. Your mind must remain intact for you to be of use to fate. Precious little. They are shadows that vanish under my scrutiny. Obscure figures that somehow hide from my gaze. It is disconcerting. Never have I been so blind. Every possible fate unfolds before me. They all lead to an event I thought erased from chance eons ago. If this course isn't altered, Apocrypha falls, reality unravels, and Nirn is destroyed.
Yeah, like I thought.
This enemy eludes me, but you are my secret advantage. That is the reason fate chose you. Your instinctual ability to succeed no matter the obstacles placed before you, no matter the odds. Follow the threads I selected for Lyramil. See where they lead. That is the key to saving both our realms. That is why I agreed to bind myself to you with a powerful contract. I cannot act against you or your interests, so long as you adhere to your part of the bargain. Our enemies have no such constraints, so proceed with caution. Fate takes many paths, mortal. Find Lyramil in Necrom, and choose wisely.
All right.
Greetings, my good friend.
So
An
got
excellent
some
selection.
gems.
Your rewards are ready.
But we're sure.
Your crates are gone, my friend. But there are always additional crates available
so
for
basically
purchase.
you could always
No more crates.
extract those
But
gems
you can
from
always
the
purchase more.
stuff you take from the loot boxes.
May luck follow you.
So that might be. And there's like, hey, during this broadcast there's like drops enabled, so you might get those crates, which you can turn into gems. So that's Twitch drops. So, but once again. So these are gathering missions. We might as well gather these items. Apocrypha. The Telvani Peninsula Apocrypha. I wonder how many mushroom towers we are going to see. Okay, there's some people who once have. Let's go to tour here later. That's mushroom tower, probably. It looks like a mushroom in a map.
Off we go.
Usual motor. Ah, I keep this motor on festival. Interesting. So you can actually cry for something. I wonder if this character likes crying. Oops, that's hot. there are places to actually close, like boss battles in earlier DLCs. It's Morrowind, so there must be lots of mushrooms around. Sure. But I'm wondering how much new things they could actually bring to this place. I mean, it's going to be like really demanding to come up with new ideas for every DLC. That's something I wanted to check. That where are we? Go if we are following this road. Palfoyen passage. This is actually taking us to Palfoyen. Palfoyen is like start. Okay, so it's here. This is where we actually started in the first game back in 2014. So yeah. Funny that there's like newbie place and then there's like newest DLC location next to each other, but hey, that's life.
Wait, hold on. Headed to Old Isra.
Okay, so there's another mushroom tower. So yeah, this definitely is like Telvanni Peninsula, because there's like Telvanni all over. Telvanni backyard basically. It's like this is something has been happening here. Nightmare Den. Sounds like a fun place. Those singers are massive all over. I probably need to check how to fight against them. Then again, this is not the really best character to spec. I mean, Warden isn't the best class. It was the class that came with the Morrowind, but it's definitely not the. It's not really shining. Feels like PvE. those heralds are all over. Maybe I should get a minimap deals add-on.
That likes a quick study.
Great arm. Check the cards. So they have like masks and yeah, feels like a temple card or something.
I'll never be able to master these mortuary processes.
So, with Peli-Rami device. Let's look around. Second time we visit here.
Adventurers wanted. Apply here.
Tribunal Temple of the High Ordinator. Now, Tribunal Temple seems competent adventurers to enact the will of the living gods. Unique opportunities abound for you and your allies. Valiant missions rewards for outstanding performance.
Pays well.
High Ordinator Borun in Necrom. So, who's High Ordinator? Right here. Okay, here. Yep. He's High Ordinator. So as you can see, he's having like white golden armor like mine. But I have like different kind of setup. This my own design basically.
Your bearing speaks well of you. I've come to the City of Tombs in search of the brave. The Tribunal Temple has need of you.
There has been lots of arguments. What the high ordinators are actually doing during this era. We know what they are doing in a Morrowind, like third era, but second era is different.
Yes, I'm overseeing the temple's efforts in the peninsula and the Dreadlands of Apocrypha. It falls to my subordinates, Ordinator Tendacia, Ordinator Talina, and Ordinator Nellen, to assign the available work to those that are capable and willing.
Yeah, so he's overseeing the temple's effort. So overseer, high ordinator. This is something I actually had a long fight. What are high ordinators?
It is the prudent warrior that trusts in the guidance of the three, yet still seeks to know the face of their challenges. What do you need to know? Ordinator Talina focuses on infiltration and reconnaissance. She makes use of single operatives to perform missions for the temple where larger forces might be unwieldy. She's dedicated to the three and encourages others to be devout as well. Ordinator Nellen oversees the logistics of larger operations. The temple relies on him to manage assignments that require groups of operatives working together. He's very aware that heroism often costs and pays accordingly. Tendacia walks a narrow and perilous path, but sees much that I do not. The temple values her mastery of hidden matters, matters adjacent to our holy mandate.
Okay.
I take such flirtations with heresy seriously, but her results are undeniable.
Okay, so interesting.
Excellent. If you prefer to work alone, talk to Ordinator Talina. If you prefer to work as part of a team, find Ordinator Nellen. May the three guide your path. I serve the Tribunal Temple. The labor I perform is done in service to the living gods, not personal gain. I don't expect my fervency to be shared by all, nor do I expect others to take up arms for the temple freely. But I do so gladly.
It looks like you've yet to
These
encounter
are
a foe
once
you
again
couldn't handle.
wearing
The Ordinators
using
could
the
use
older
someone like you.
ordinator
You will be
armor,
well rewarded.
which is weird, because that was like armor they used in a base game, and it's damn ugly. But they had like ordinator armor. Why can't they use like new armor?
There is a place in Apocrypha called Fathom's Drift, a graveyard of ships wrecked by Hermaeus Mora. We think that some of our Order's lost vessels are among those wrecks. Our divinations in this world have proved fruitless. Comb the shores of Fathom's Drift and bring back any ship manifest you find. We can at least determine what ships the Master of the Tides of Fate has taken. We will make the trip worth your while. Do you hesitate? There will be no renegotiating, I am afraid. I'd advise getting back to the job at hand. We are holy gods and warrior priests, dedicated to serving the Tribunal Temple and the living gods worshipped therein. Here in Necrom, we tend to our flock in the Telvanni Peninsula and keep a wary eye on the portals to Apocrypha. It is the realm ruled by Hermaeus Mora, and as such is a threat to the living gods and to us. In these lands, though, the veil between our plane and his is thin and easily pierced. We know of several ways to reach Apocrypha. Hermaeus Mora is no friend of the Dark Elves, but we have sent agents into the Prince of Fate's domain, hoping to uncover hidden knowledge. We cannot go ourselves, so we employ paid agents, like you, to discover what lies beyond the veil. Fathom's Drift is a ship's graveyard in Apocrypha. I've heard that some of the wrecks are floating in air, impaled on rock spires or listing noiselessly on silent seas. It's unnerving from the reports I've heard. It's a place beyond the power of our living gods. It is filled with the spirits of drowned sailors and lost souls. It is a domain of the damned. But do not worry, your reward will be proportionate to the dangers of the task.
Okay.
That depends entirely on what the High Ordinator deems necessary. But there are more jobs than capable hands. If you survive, then I'm sure we will continue to have work for you.
Put your skills to use for the Ordinators of the Telvanni Peninsula. You call as the Chainmaker, ships exotic creatures into the region and pits them against those willing to pay to fight them. He often lets his beast loose to drum up interest. We want to put Corliss out of business and track his network of suppliers. Sotha Sil, the light of knowledge, provided our order with clockwork oddities we call mystic trackers. We need someone to defeat Corliss and place these trackers on his wagons to uncover his contact. The sooner you get a move on, the sooner you're observant, my friend. We keep an eye on the Telvanni Peninsula, and now Apocrypha as well for the temple. It's more than anyone can handle alone. We've many dangerous, well-paying jobs available for teams of talented adventurers like yourself. True servants of the temple take all threats to the Three and their people seriously, including the Daedric Lord of Secrets. But our need is your gain, my friend. We pay well for others to take care of these issues. Corliss the Chainmaker is a showman who runs a fighting club of sorts. He imports rare and dangerous creatures. Would-be warriors pay him to fight them. No, but he sometimes turns his creatures loose on the countryside to drum up business. We want him stopped, and we want to know who his suppliers are.
I was told to expect you, and here you are. Congratulations, traveler. You've been tended by the Gardener of Men, plucked for a special task. Hermaeus Mora requires your help in reclaiming a portion of his realm from his enemies.
She knows a lot.
Hermaeus Mora's enemies assail Apocrypha, specifically Bastion Nimic, a stronghold where dangerous names of power are stored. The Golden
Storage
Eye
for the
needs someone
names.
to rout these enemies, and the herald that leads them. The reward will be substantial. Bastion Nimic is inaccessible, except by a few ancient gates. The Herald's Seekers guard the way in. If you kill these Seekers and take their Daedric Ichor, you can use it to activate the gate and get inside. I'll mark your map with the location of the Thonic Gate landing, as well as where the Seekers flock.
Okay.
Mora's foes control these
Okay,
Seekers.
so this is why we
Find
need
them,
Seekers.
kill them, and take their Ichor. Once you have enough, you can open the gate and enter the... No, but we must sometimes forge strange alliances.
Okay, so she's
Our people
actually
have a long
following
history with
Hermaeus
the
Mora.
Daedra, you'll recall. I have an understanding with Mora. We help each other from time to time. Especially when his affairs spill over into our world. Let's just say they choose not to examine my methods too closely. The Lord of Secrets provides me with eyes and ears in many places.
She's
That can
just
be
too
very
useful
useful
for the
in my
temple.
work. I repay that favor when he asks for help, such as now. They serve the Daedric princes, Vermina and Periite. I know that dangerous champions lead the attack, but
Okay.
the real threat is the master of the Seeker Heralds. It has subverted Bastion Nimic's
Vermina
defenses.
Periite.
Mora's
Periite is
own
actually
Daedra
biggest
will
of
try
the
to stop you.
Dead princess.
Yes. That's why Hermaeus Mora requires outside help to deal with this threat. He can't rely on his own Daedra in Bastion Nimic. You can expect no mercy from Mora's former servants. Give them none in return. Eradicate them all.
Really interesting. So how many? Yeah, that's going to be like. Okay, that's an apocryph. Interesting that we are already sent to the apocrypha right off from the gate. So we get to explore like two places. Of course, Telvanni Peninsula is like this is rather smallish because other part of the DLC is that apocrypha right here. Seems like there's lots of details. So interesting that we already get to the apocrypha. So that begs the question, what's going to be like the next step? but which was pretty interesting. Cobwebs. Bindery. Okay, so I can get to the right here. Interesting.
Welcome to my safe house, Proxy. Meeting Hermaeus Mora represents a rare honor. The one who knows materializes in a delimited projection. He chooses to manifest before few mortals. The threads upon which reality dangles are precarious indeed. What did Mora impart to you? And so I shall. The one who knows traced 3 crucial events to this area. Investigate each, and he believes we can expose the conspirators moving against Apocrypha. We may even stop them before the ultimate threat takes shape. I do not know. I was only presented with what was required to bring you to the right place at the right moment. You must determine why fate needs you in each location, then take the appropriate action. Many possible futures branch from every mortal choice. As of our choices, it changes the outcome. Therefore, Hermaeus Mora tells us only what he must. As fate's chosen, the rest is up to you. The threads of fate lead to 3 locations in this region. The necropolis of Necrom, the old tower of Telrendis, and the town of Alavelis. I shall open a portal to each, investigate them, and return here to the Necrom bindery when you are done. An old bookbinder's shop, our temporary base of operations in this region. I secured it so we could travel to and from Apocrypha without causing undue panic. I doubt Necrom's authorities would approve of portals to an Oblivion realm in their city. In addition to the 3 to take you to the locations you must investigate, I summoned 2 gateways to Apocrypha. One leads to the Endless Library, a place of books as numberless as the stars.
This
The other to Chroma Incognito, where lost fates linger.
Lost fates linger, okay.
Only if you desire to do so. The threads of fate Hermaeus Mora asks you to investigate begin here in the Telvanni Peninsula. Where they shall lead us, I cannot say. But with the threat directed at Apocrypha, I thought quick access was prudent. A reasonable and prudent request. I shall provide what details I can, but I know little more than you do. Local history and politics are not my usual area of study. Which location would you like to know more about? Necrom serves as a center for the ancient Dunmer practice of ancestor worship, a strange custom. The monks of the necropolis, called the Keepers of the Dead, tend the catacombs beneath the city. They guide the faithful in venerating their forebears. Telrendis is one of the many mushroom towers that dot this land. They usually serve as domiciles of Telvanni wizards who wield formidable magic. But this tower is abandoned. Interesting. Fate dictates that when you go there, I shall accompany you. Alavelis is a minor settlement whose only claim to fame is its malachite quarry, a glass mine, as the Dunmer refer to it. That thread of fate vibrates with particular intensity. What you shall find there, I cannot say, but I urge caution, Proxy. Your choice must be your own, Proxy. Hermaeus Mora was clear about that. There, 3 paths are now arrayed before you. Which will you pick?
So we could actually look a bit around before we get it started. Explore the Apocrypha water. This is probably where she lives. Lots of books. Pulpy. Do ghosts eat? Interesting.
Welcome to my safe house, Proxy.
She wants us to.
Some of the
actually-
lizard folk were attacked in Silent Mire. It's just an old swamp, so at least nothing valuable was ruined.
3 places. Profanity filter off.
It's true. No rest for the weary.
Let's look around, shall we? I mean, there's lots of side quests probably, so we should actually start to empty this place and by adventuring and doing stuff. Quest or mine? I think I'm going to like the quest. I'd return this one. Fire. Okay, so I wonder what's this place. That's what must be. That's Herald Seeker, the dead. So somebody has been killing it. interesting little detour. I haven't beta tested this, but I used to beta test these DLCs and usually go through all of them. Like
I can't believe
every
she just
nook
threw
and
me out.
cranny.
What am I going to do? Please, I have no one else I can turn to. I need help. I worked as a servant in the towers of Tel Drellith. Nathan, the son of Mistress Drellith, is being kept prisoner there. At least, I think he must be. Nathan and I had plans to leave Tel Drellith together. Someone must have found out because the day we planned to leave, I was dismissed from my position. Mistress Drellith, or Sathiel, I suppose, pushed me out without a chance to see Nathan. She's holding him against his will. He'll be in the isolation tower. The only access is through the lab in the caverns that run underneath. There's a key in the top floor of the main tower. Please, can you help me? I'll pay for your assistance. Thank the eight you came along. I had no idea how I would do this on my own. I know Sathiel would just throw me out again, but Nathan is my whole world. I can't possibly leave Tel Drellith without him. The first step is finding that key. Certainly. You know, it's been so long since I spoke to another outsider. I didn't think I'd miss it so much. I say this with love, but Nathan's not a fighter. He's lived a sheltered life, and Sathiel is a very skilled mage. But he wouldn't fight his mother anyway. Until he met me, he seemed content with heeding Sathiel's every word. I wish I knew. If she were any other Telvanni master, I guess she didn't want her son settling for some lowborn servant girl. But nothing like that ever seemed to matter to Sathiel. She was far more focused on her research than her rank anyway. From what I understand, she's trying to cure the Nahatan flu.
Oh.
It took the life of her husband many years ago, when Nathan was just a baby.
Okay.
I'm sure that's why she's so protective of her son, but it's no way to let him live. I heard Sathiel used to keep test subjects in the isolation tower.
20 years ago.
If she's keeping him anywhere, I imagine it has to be there. He spends most of his time on the balcony of the main tower, but he hasn't been out there at all since I left. Would it matter? Nathan deserves to make his own choices, regardless of his mother's wishes. And if she really felt that way, why wouldn't she just make her feelings known instead of throwing me out? I wasn't trying to steal him from her. I used to ask myself that question every day. It all happened so fast.
Cropsford.
I had a big family in Cropsford. We fled east from Cyrodiil when the Three Banners War began. By the time I made it here, I'd lost everyone. I was on my own. She gave me lodging and fair wages, too. She was kind to me, in her way. I used to think it was out of some goodness of her heart that she took me in. After she dismissed me, I was left wondering if she even has a heart. Very little, actually. It's not what she said, rather... While packing, I found a note in my belongings, signed by Nathan, full of hurtful things. Things I know he would never say to me. I'm certain of it. I know Nathan's handwriting, and more than that, I know his heart. He'd never say such cruel things to me. And the fact that Sathiel made up those lies hurts me even more. As in how we met? It's a bit of a silly story. I have a habit of whistling while I work. Songs from back home to keep my mind busy. One day, when I was working in the garden, I heard it. Chords of Chim El Adabal, coming from the balcony above me. He'd never even heard it before. He learned it on the lute just from listening to me. He would play, and I began to sing again. It was like Nathan gave me my voice back. And I could think of home again in a way that felt like healing. Nathan started dropping notes for me in the garden. He folded them so beautifully to look like flowers. He'd make up excuses to send for me. We'd stay up all night talking or reading. It took a long time for either of us to admit our feelings. I did. I'd suggested that Sathiel was being a little overprotective of him. We were almost arguing about it when I just admitted that I'd fallen in love with him. But I didn't know if I wanted to stay at Tel Dreloth forever like Sathiel. Only recently. That was Nathan's idea. After losing my family, I sought safety and found it in Tel Dreloth. But over time, we both realized life is too short, too precious to spend it stuck in just one place. We decided we wanted to see the world.
Okay, so I don't know what's behind this, but okay. Cleopatra Telvanni. Sky's hard.
There's got to be a better source for your alchemy practice.
He doesn't like it, I think. Bugs. Softly glowing.
There's the main tower, and you can see the isolation tower to the north there. They're not like the towers back home, but they're beautiful in their own way.
If there's going to be like sneaking missions, I need to like make a load of alchemy potions. Phantom Laboratory key. Ilta. that was history or elaboration about Telvanni.
Good. Nobody's noticed us so far.
I wonder what's this. This looks like a board game, basically. I wonder how you played. So this is Telvanni Mushroom Tower. Okay. Find the laboratory key. Here's the stairs up. This is actually more confusing than the previous Telvanni towers. Okay. But I suppose that happens when you actually let Mushroom take over your castle.
The key is in that chest. It's a spare for when the researchers misplace theirs.
Abridged version. Aivan Plus on hyvä kirja. Nyt on todellinen huippuhelmi kuuntelussa, kuinka olla piittämättä paskaakaan. Mark Manson, kerro mulle miten toi onnistuu. But this is actually improved version of the Ancestors and Dunmer. Okay, this is average version. Interesting. Not much new things, but yeah. Think at chest.
Got it? Let's speak for a moment. All right, we have the key. This is going better than I thought it would. And it's strange. Everything looks so different in here without the wards. It all feels so empty.
Wards? What wards?
Nathan's protective wards. You know, Sathiel's magic barriers that kept Nathan's half of the tower in isolation. I couldn't cross them at all. They certainly made tidying up a bit of a trial. I mentioned the wards before. Sorry.
Okay.
I guess I've been here so long it's become normal to me. Sathiel said the outside world would kill Nathan, and she was working on a cure. But as far as I know, she and her husband were trying to cure the Nahatan flu. He died years ago, when Nathan was just a baby, from the disease they were trying to cure. Sathiel must be sheltering Nathan for fear of losing him, too. She's doing it out of love.
Else.
That I can understand. But that doesn't make it right. We'll take the portal pad to the cellar. Then the key will get us into the labs. From there, it's just making our way through the caverns to the isolation tower. As long as we don't cross Sathiel, the others will be too busy to stop us. Good question. I've never known her to be particularly combative, but if Nathan's wards were any indication, she does wield very powerful magic. Which she may use to escort us out. Nathan's well-being is a family affair, and the researchers are far more focused on their work. They're tasked with observing their subjects for the slightest changes, so they won't keep their eyes on us for long, anyway.
This goes better and better.
Test subjects for her experiments. Animals, as far as I know. Some of the experiments are rather grisly. I kept away from the lab for that exact reason. I've heard some of these Telvanni use slaves for such things. But Cethile's not like that.
Castle, sure.
No, and that's exactly what worries me. She's tested no cures on him because there's nothing to cure. He's not sick. She just wants control. Poor Nathan. His mother loves him, but it's almost like she's the one with the sickness.
Interesting.
I don't think I've ever seen it this empty down here. Where is everyone?
Actually, dungeon music is actually playing here. Dark Manson's book. Kipeä vasta näkemään tai sössön hössytykselle. Okay.
Wait. What are these subjects doing out of containment?
Is that the last of them? Oh, thank feck. Hey.
Ihmiset ei oo oman elämänsä supersankareita. Näinhän se on. Hyväksyttänyt vaan. Eikä tavoitella
Kill them to run away. Well, now I guess.
Why are they
wouldn't.
like this?
Maybe they should try
What
that.
has Cethile done to them?
Never used to fight this much until I met you.
There. Are those research notes? Look around. Maybe there's something here that explains what happened. What's that? It looks like a letter.
I remind myself and the dub creates like vermin in my mind. I was right, I am right. Death was not for nothing. Spores. Spores isolated quarantine. Regret dismissing Darcy at the house servant girl. The situation was far too dangerous already.
What did you find? Anything that explains? Let me see. No, I'd never write such a thing. Did Cecile write this? Does she really think this sounds like me? What did the research notes say? Spores? The researchers spoke of those. Little seeds on the air, invisible to the eye like flu or fever. I think that's how molds and mushrooms make more of themselves. Delman spore sample. Delman? Delman? What is that? It sounds like a name. It sounds familiar. I just can't place where I've heard it before. She mentions these toxic spores interfering with wards. Does that mean Nathan's wards? If these spores reach the isolation tower, he could be in danger. No, the observation outpost. What happened? Where is everyone?
Sus. Ei kannata jäädä tuleen makaamaan. Vaikka niin kun haikara onkin syömässä, niin pitää silti yrittää kuristaa. Sama kuin kannattaa silti yrittää kuristaa vielä.
Tunche? Thank the 8 you're all right.
Daisha, stranger, you shouldn't be here. Too dangerous. Go no further.
The thing is that Argonians should be like really super resistant against every kind of disease. And you know how the flu
Spores
was
nearly
Argonian
killed me.
children's disease.
Barely exposed. Natural immunity.
Yeah, he's telling that.
I will live. Heard shouting, then screaming. Everyone came running. Big mistake. Subject spores. Too strong. Wanted to escape. Mistress Dreloth. She coaxed him back to isolation. Delman, too strong. Stronger than I've ever seen. Delman. Mistress Dreloth's greatest experiment. The cure. The affliction. Delman did this. Trouble breathing. Barely survived. The other researchers, not so lucky. Too late for them. Go no further. You could be killed.
I'm glad Tunche is all right. But he's just given us more questions than answers. I know he's one of her most trusted assistants, but if this Delman is one of Cethile's experiments, how does Tunche not blame her for what happened here? I know, but... fetch it all! I just wish I could remember where I've heard it before. Delman. No, that's just the trouble. If Nathan had said or written it, I'd probably remember it exactly. Delman... It's on the tip of my tongue. Where did Tunche say Cethile took the subject again? That must mean the isolation tower. Where Nathan is. Let's keep going. I don't know what we're going to do, but Cethile needs to be stopped. The researchers too? Gods, what has she done?
Maybe I should have joined the buoyant armigers.
Wait. Do you feel that? It's like we're being watched.
I've tolerated this incursion long enough. Whoever you are, you've fallen for Dacia's fanciful tale. And now you're enabling her dangerous obsession with my son. Nathan made his feelings for Dacia perfectly clear in the letter he wrote. Or was that vital piece of information kept from you? So what if I did? They both do well to believe it. They can never be together, do you hear me? Never! Leave this place! Forget all that you've seen,
like a bit
or you'll end up worse than Toonshay. Delman? Where did you hear this name, Delman? Ah, I see. So your half-informed mind proves far more dangerous than an uninformed one. You cannot help. Leave this place, or I will do everything in my remaining power to stop you.
Delman was her husband. That's right. I must have heard it from her once, long ago when she first brought me on. He died from the Nahatan flu. The thing she's trying to cure. I've never seen her like this before. I don't know. Has she gone mad? Was she always this way? If so, she's been hiding it, and I can't blame her. If she were carted off to Gorn, she'd be parted from Nathan. The thought of it probably only made things worse for her.
Gorn is actually the island for mad people.
If you mean to heed Cethiel's words and leave, then I'll have to go on alone. Nathan is my whole world. I'm not leaving without him.
Joo, se on 20 vuotta sitten, mutta siis löytyi netistä. Mä vaan etsin Googlen kuvahaulla. Enter the isolation tower. Okay.
You cannot fight the danger that lies ahead. This is your last chance.
Thank you. I know I wouldn't last long on my own, but I've known that for a while.
Turn back. You may never leave this tower again.
Dacia, stay back! I tried to escape, but she was right. My mother was right about everything.
Nathan, what are you talking about? We're here to rescue you.
Stay back from the ward. Mother says it's already in a weakened state due to the strength of my affliction. I don't recognize you, stranger. What are you doing with Dacia? Rescue? Then she really does love me? There was this note, you see. I was certain it was fake, but then I saw you and, well, I started to wonder. But I cannot leave. If you came through the caverns, you must have seen what I'm capable of.
That was you.
My father, yes. The affliction my mother gave me. She named it after him. I didn't know until I tried escaping. The wards were never for my protection. They kept others safe from me. If I had left with Dacia when we planned, she'd be dead. A living cure. A symbiote that protects its host with toxic spores. I would not be alive without it, and it would not thrive without me. All these years, she really has been trying to cure me so I might live a normal life. Why did I ever doubt her?
So now you know the truth. I'd kept this secret from Nathan his whole life. That he might not grow up knowing he was a monster of my own making. That he might keep his will to live while I sought a cure. After all, I gave him the Nahatan flu and cured him of that too. Delmin and I were trying to save the world. A promising fungal spore sample was on its way from Black Marsh when Delmin caught the very thing we were trying to cure. And I lost him. I had to know if the spores would have saved him. And now I know.
Nahatan flu was like a pandemic in the Elder Scrolls. That was like pretty much like COVID. But fantasy version of COVID, basically.
Nathan came from me. I am enough of him that the fungal symbiote does not register me as a separate entity, and therefore not a threat to its host. That is when I named it. Delman Mycota. The cure, like love, that would be with us always. The truth is a poor cure for love. I did not want Dacia to share my fate of being shackled to Tel Dreloff by her own heartstrings. So I tried to drive her away. But since hers is a love that clearly cannot be cured, I have devised a choice for her. If Dacia is willing, I can safely inoculate her with the same spores I used on Nathan. She will share his affliction and his confinement. But they will be together, and she will want for nothing, except perhaps her freedom. Then she can make herself useful and help me find a cure. I'll hire her on again. I need someone dependable to procure rare ingredients to keep testing possible cures for Delman Mycota. Perhaps someday she can be one of my researchers. I suppose my research notes wouldn't give you the whole picture, would they? Toonshay, one of my most devoted researchers, discovered it in a pool of brackish water deep within Black Marsh. Its capture and transport was quite the undertaking. When bonded inside the lungs of its host, Delman Mycota passively produces spores toxic to almost all non-fungal life, as you saw in the caverns. It seems to eradicate anything that might threaten the life of its host, including the Nahatan flu. It is sensitive to smoke, a herald of fire, which causes it to release reproducing spores in anticipation of finding a new host. These are the spores we would use to inoculate Dacia, if that is what she chooses. Correct. Somehow, Delman Mycota recognizes itself, and of course doesn't see itself as a threat. Argonians like Toonshay are a different case, but only barely. Their natural resistance to toxins very nearly meets its match with Delman Mycota. My researchers signed on with me because of my area of study. They knew the dangers of Delman Mycota as well as its potential. All that space in the labs was necessary for safe experimentation. I regret their loss, but they knew the risks. Or, if I had time to think of a more believable lie to tell the both of them. I knew they had been meeting for quite some time. When I overheard their plans to run away together, I had to act quickly, or else risk Dacia's certain death. Of course I did. I was glad for it at first. Dacia brought Nathan happiness. If only they could have remained content being in love, with the wards up between them. It was only when they doubted me that things got dangerous. And now, here we are. I've been studying Delman Mycota for over 20 years. If anyone can find a cure, it's me. I'm not about to abandon my life's most important work. There has to be something that can eradicate the fungus once it's disposed of the Nahatan flu. What does it matter if she and Nathan are able to live out their days together? I'd only prioritize curing her. But I am a researcher, I am not above recognizing the benefit of additional subjects with which to compare results.
Okay.
Nathan and I could finally be
this
together.
went dark.
But the way to do so means becoming his mother's experiment. But I'd be safe, provided for. I'd get to dance and sing every day with the one I love. Some would kill for such a gentle life. Leaving for good is no option for me. My heart is Nathan's and his is mine. If I don't give up my freedom, I can help Cecile find a cure. I'd get to see the world like I always wanted, but I'd be in her service. And I'd be alone. Life offers no guarantee of love either. But I found that, didn't I? I don't see it as giving up my freedom. I see it as a choice of how I get to show my love. But my heart is split. If you were in my place, which would you choose?
Okay, so we can now choose how this ends. I would stay with the one I love and wait for the cue.
If my freedom is the price of being with Nathan, then I'll pay it. To be with my love is better than having to wander the world alone. Thank you for keeping me safe, and helping me see the best choice, stranger. Here's your reward.
Adamant Lurker set, so this is new tank set. Health recovery, maximum health. Ah, pretty nice.
You're staying? Truly? Are you sure, Daisha?
I fought this hard just to get to you, Nathan. Of course I'm staying. Finally a place to call home again. Thank you for helping me see the right decision. I think I'll take one more walk around the grounds before I join Nathan. It'll be my last moment alone for quite some time, and I want to spare some thoughts for my family. I think they'd be happy I found my true love.
Daisha has chosen to make her home at Tel Dreloth. She brings Nathan a comfort I could never hope to give him. I will make sure to show her how thankful I am for that. I'll say goodbye to Nathan. His affliction doesn't affect me because of our shared blood, but I don't have the same connection with Daisha. Her spores would kill me. I'll inoculate Daisha, and return to my work. I'll have to, won't I? And Toonshay will help me, as he's always done. I pay well, and the world is in no shortage of those who lost loved ones to the Nahatan flu. I don't anticipate any trouble in finding more help.
I can't believe she's chosen to stay. How did I end up so lucky to have someone like her find me? By the three, she's going to be here. In here. With me. I've never had that before. What do I do? I need to tidy up. Look presentable. Make sure she's going to be comfortable. So much to do.
Okay. So, this was the... so, this kind of Romeo and Julia story. interesting side quest. So let's see what other things they have been going to invent for Telvanni Peninsula. But yeah, sure. Castle Xur kind of stories, always fun, very classic Telvanni. Anyway, time to end. Elikkä aika lopettaa tältä päivää. Tää on nyt tänään ilmestynyt, so this DLC actually came out today, so that's really fresh. So this one we are going to play, but we are going to finish all older games tomorrow and Thursday, and I'll play a bit of Call of Cthulhu in Saturday, but I'm going to be like away for the most of the day, so that's how it's going to be. So thanks for watching, and see you next time tomorrow. Bye.